So I will do this presentation on behalf of Hervé Guilloux. Hervé Guilloux is the CEO of DCNS. DCNS is a shipbuilder and naval system builder in France. And Hervé asked me to do this presentation, which he was not able to come, because he was not able to come. I will briefly give some information about my company, Nuke Advisor, then about the difficulties that the newcomer countries that want to launch a nuclear program are facing. Then we will look at the innovation, which the synergies the immersed nuclear small modular reactor represents. And then at the end, I will give a few words about the status of the Synergy project in France. So Nuke Advisor, it's a private and independent company which is dedicated to nuclear consulting. And we provide advisory services, technical assistance, and owner and financial expertise. We are ancient top executive of the European industry, nuclear industry. And one of the core activities of Nuke Advisor is to support clients during the IAEA. IAEA is the International Agency IAEA for Energy Atomic, IAEA milestone process for the development of civil nuclear power. Nuke Advisor, so we have 4 domains of competence. The first one is the strategic support, and to illustrate that, I will show what we are doing for DCNS about the small modular reactor. The second one is related to the nuclear program preparation, and we have worked in South Africa to help the Department of Energy to prepare the South African nuclear program, which is to be launched in the future, I hope in the recent future. Then research reactors, where we were the owners engineers for the GRTR, for distinguished client Chairman Toucan. And we are now the owner's engineer for the Pallas reactor, which is a replacement of the Petten reactor, European reactor in Netherlands. And decommissioning, we have developed a competence for the audit of the burdens and the provisions of the nuclear decommissioning, and especially for EDF, we did that job for the existing fleet, for the 58 second-generation reactors. So this is for Nuke Advisor. Now, what are the issues that a newcomer country is facing? We have the example that Chairman Toucan said, most of the countries that want to launch a nuclear program, they want to build 2 NPPs. For example, Vietnam, 2 Russian and 2 Japanese, Turkey, 2 Russian and 2 Franco-Japanese, and Jordan, 2. So the classical approach is to going with 2 large NPP units. That means NPP with 1,000 megawatt power. Then the agency, the International Agency for Atomic Energy, they have set up a process which is known as the milestone of the development of a national infrastructure for nuclear power. We commonly name it the IAEA milestones process. And this process, it's not a laser pointer, this process has 19 issues. That means that the country must manage in parallel 19 issues. I will illustrate it. So you have the difficulty to tackle with 19 issues in parallel. Then it gives long delays between the decision to launch the program and the first kilowatt per hour. And the financial burden, you have had an estimate by Chairman Toucan around 5 billion euros or $5 billion for nuclear 1,000 megawatt power plant. So it's an important burden and risk associated. So the IAEA has set up 3 phases. The first phase is a political one. It is a phase where the country shows that it is ready to make a knowledgeable commitment to launch a program. That means they know that they are entering a long-term process and that they want to have a political commitment that will last. The second phase is the preparatory works. So the main preparatory works is the site qualification, site characterization, where you will locate the nuclear power plant, what is the seismicity in the region, what are the population around, and so on and so on. And the third phase is the construction itself. So you have here the 19, the red circles are the 19 issues. So just to illustrate, national position is first one, nuclear safety, management, funding and financing, legislative framework, safeguards, etc., etc. So the approach from the IAEA is to tackle with these 19 issues on an equal basis. And what comes from the recent experience in the different countries is mainly that some of them are very, very important, and the others are less important. What is very important? The financing, for sure. Now, during the last years, we have seen that the financing and the safety remain the most important issues. Now, I will shift to synergy. So, we came to the conclusion that with the cost of the investment now, less and less countries are able to pay to invest in 1,000 megawatt nuclear power plants. That means to make investment in the range between 4, 5, 6, 7 billion euros. And so that there is probably another way to look for, which is to say that the opposite of what we had all in mind, the nuclear people, that means that big is beautiful, because big allows to have the cost of the kilowatt, to lower the cost of the kilowatt per hour. We will go to the opposite direction. That means that look if small is not beautiful now. And this is the way that for the small modular reactor, there exist, in fact, three types of small modular reactors. The ground, we will be built on ground, that Major Chairman Tukan mentioned them. There is one which is floating, it's a Russian one, on the barge. And it is the most advanced because the construction is almost completed, and he will be in service. He will be commissioned probably beginning of next year, and he will be in service in the northeast of Siberia, in the region where they have a very limited population, but a huge need for power. And there is the third one, which is the one I will present, which is an immersed nuclear power reactor. That means a reactor which is under the sea. So this is synergy. You have on the slide, though, a small farm with 4 modules. 4 modules, they are on the bottom of the sea, and they are connected. I will describe the system. So what is a synergy module? It's a cylinder, which length, you see, is roughly 150 meters, and the diameter of the hull, 14 meters. 14 meters, that means the power 160 megawatt electric. And the depth, it's between 60 meters and 100 meters in depth on the bottom. So why not more than 100 meters? Because it will have required more thickness for the hull. And why not the 20 meters? Because we want to have it out of contact of divers for physical protection of the module, you can imagine. So in the module, you have 4 parts. The reactor compartment is the second from the left. Just beside the reactor compartment, you have the turbine compartment. That means the electricity is produced inside the module, and then is brought to the surface and to the grid by cables. We have a compartment and 4 compartments. What I mentioned then, because they have control rooms and rescue control rooms in one of each. So the module is something very simple, which is fully manufactured in factory. So there's no work on the site. It is fully manufactured on the factory. So the life cycle, you have on the top right, you have a farm with 5 modules, which are under the sea. The underground close to the farm, you have the control center. And you have a transport ship. We will bring the module from the shipyard, and then we will bring back the module for the maintenance. The transport ship is, you can see it on the bottom right, and then coming back to the refueling and maintenance base, and then transport and coming back to the site. I will show you a film without music. The music we were not able to, which describes. So you have the transport ship with the module on the ship. Ah, we have the music. Great. So it is on the side, then ballasted. They separate the module from the ship, and they will ballast it down. So the soil on the bottom, sand or gravel, not rock, because it will need. So here you have the force module, which is, and then connection, and then starting the module. So the power of the force module is increasing. Then you have, imagine that you follow the cable to the ground. Then you have here the station to the connection to the grid. Because here the harbor where you can do the movements with the module, and especially the submarine. Then we will have a look at the control command center, here, which is a small. It's a one hectare. So, as you can imagine, there are a lot of redundancies. You have two cables. You have high frequency network and so on. To be sure, because the order, the control command of the reactor will be done through the remote control. This is a surveillance. There is a zone surveillance, which has a lot of components. This is only showing a radar, providing electricity to the city. Then we are able to have an in-service maintenance and inspection with a small submarine, which go. But the principle is that there is no team on board. But for the beginning, probably we will let for the first module, for the first of a kind, we'll probably let a team. But here, the team is doing some measurements, chemical measurements and so on. And at the end, these measurements will fully be automated, remote control. Then the production of the module 1 on the left is decreasing, so they will go and ballast it up and then bring a new module on the right. So the refueling is done every 40 months, or a little more than 3 years. So here you have the module transfer to the maintenance base for refueling. The top of the floor. They put the new fuel down. And then the module will go back with his ship to the site. So this is the life cycle. So refueling every 14 months, main maintenance operations every 10 years, and lifetime 60 years. This is now every nuclear reactor in the world which is launched is for 60 years. So what are the characteristic of Synergy? It's not a submarine. This is the first thing I want to. It's not a submarine. What does it mean? It means there is no propulsion. There are no military devices on board, and there is only civilian technology. So it's not the reactor of a military submarine that has been put on board. It's an entirely different reactor, purely civilian. It is not an integrated reactor with the steam generators up like most of the SMRs. Here we have two loops, so it's a classical one. The advantage is the progressive investment, so you have the need for investment which is really less than 1 billion euro. Transportable unit, shipyard-built module, so fully manufactured in which there is no civil engineering except building the control center. There is a reduced industrial risk because the modules are all comparable, and you can build them with the same quality assurance and quality guarantees that every equipment that is built in the factory, and not with the on-site quality assurance process, which are more complicated. In terms of nuclear safety, it adds the active systems and the passive safety system. There is no grace delays. It's not a good word. I would say an infinite grace delays. That means you can let it if there is an accident, even without any electricity. You can let it. It is fully safe. And only proven technologies. That means the innovation is not in the reactor. The reactor is a classical one. The innovation is in the system. The innovation in the system, at least with difficulties, at least with strong innovations in terms of insurance, in terms of regulations for transportation on sea and so on. But the innovation is in the system. So it's a new nuclear paradigm. A change of scale of power, like the SMR. The level of investment, the price of this module is, the target price is 900 mega euro. But what is most important is that the delay between ordering the reactor and the first kilowatt per hour is 3 years. So it's really very, very reduced compared to a nuclear reactor. So that means that between the day you decided to buy it and the day you have the first kilowatt hour, you have minimized the risk to have political changes of situation in the countries and so on. So it's really a reduction of the risks. What I could mention that the nuclear safety is really increased because you have an infinite heat sink, which is a sea all around. So you have the active safety system, you have the passive safety system, which are inside the module, and outside you have the sea, which is an infinite heat sink. So you have no risk of any severe accident. I will come back to it. It's a decarbonated source, and I have mentioned the electricity price. So today the price is between. It's not the price of the amortized French nuclear fleet, but it's a price which is comparable with most of the advanced renewables. That means between 100 and 130 euro per megawatt per hour, depending on the country. There is a risk prime depending on the country. So this is why it's a new nuclear paradigm. So if I come back to the IAEA milestones context, among the 19 issues, 15 of them are very much simplified. So all that are circled, they are very much simplified compared to a big nuclear power plant. So this is, with more detail, I will just give a few remarks. So you have, for example, The nuclear safety, I do not come back again because it's a very robust safety concept. You have radiation protection with the water and nobody on board. It's really good radiation protection. The human resource development is interesting because what SMRs offer is the fact they allow the host country to have a progressive approach to go to nuclear. They are not obliged to have a huge step coming from zero to the staff which is required to manage on the safety authority and on the operational company to manage 2 nuclear power plants of 2,000 megawatts. So you have a progressive investment and you can build your human capacity progressively. Now the market. The market, this analysis results 3 steps of analysis. The first one has been done by DCNS in the years 2010 and 2011. Then has been a common analysis done by the 4 French actors, EDF, CEA, DCNS, and Areva in the year 2012 and 13. Which were converging. And then there has been a third analysis done by ENGIE as a utility, ENGIE and DCNS very recently, last year. So the market type, you have Synergy is dedicated to electric grids with intermediate power. That means between 1 to 10 gigawatt electric. So, for example, archipelagos and medium-sized islands, let us say islands in Indonesia, for example, coastal territories looking for energy autonomy, weakly developed grids along extended coast, like Chile, for example. The priority is the base load, demand for base load, and it's a step for the accession to larger nuclear power programs. It's the first step. The market size, we have, after analysis, we have found 34 countries potentially concerned with a focus of 15 at the core of the market. Among the 35, 14 are in the area MENA, and so that means that there is a potential interest for our country that are the object of our conference in that innovation. The estimate of the market done by DCNS and NGE is 40 modules lowest estimate, which is the assumption on which we have built the business plan. I must say that it's 40 modules until 2050. Now, the key factors for investment, but I don't want to sell this product, this equipment here, but this is dedicated to the potential investor, and it's a summary of the advantages. So what is the status of the project? We have a project consortium, because this innovation is interest. A lot of companies have shown an interest in the innovation, and on the other side, the French government considers it very innovative and is a little bit cautious. So this is the paradox so among the companies that could build the project consortium, so ENGIE, which is the electricity and the gas utility, CEA, which would provide his knowledge for the reactor core and the fuel design, DCNS as a shipbuilder and system integrator, Nuke Advisor, my company, and a grouping of 6 small and medium enterprise and small groups. Areva, they are now named Technicatom again, which would be the nuclear reactor designer, and public funder. So we are looking for the funding from the French Commissariat Général à l'Investissement, and private funders are welcome. What is important is that all these companies are investors, and they will invest in the project. So no company will receive work without investing in the project. So the strategy, the three-stage strategy, we have completed the first one, feasibility studies. We are waiting for beginning the basic design. With basic design, around the reactor sketch provided by Technicatom. And the milestones, the important milestones at the end of the basic design will be the approval, or we hope that it will be the approval by the French Safety Authority, Nuclear Safety Authority of the DOS, Dossier d'Orientation de Sûreté. That means in English, Safety Options File, which look like a generic design assessment. Then the cost of this basic design phase, 4 years, and the cost 100 million euro, full cost. And then the detailed design, 4 other years, but an increased cost of 400 million euros. So this is the status of the project. We hope that we will launch the basic design this year, before the end of this year. The business plan, main figures. So the net project value for the time being, these estimations are done by ENGIE, so it's done by the specialist of ENGIE. The net project value around 1 billion euro. Profitability, the internal rate of return minus the weighted average cost of capital, more than 7%. And the break-even of the investment, 11 modules. So this is a summary of the state without any... in full transparency, well, it's like all strong innovation. That is in France or in Europe. It's difficult to launch. But it's a promising KD. And personally, I am really convinced that this change of paradigm is necessary to open to nuclear a new future. Thank you very much. So I come back to the break-even here is a break-even for the project company, not for the owner. I'm sorry, you are right in my presentation. So the project companies, that means an investor that will take a share in the project company, you know that you have seen that the lower estimate is 40 modules of the market, and after 11 modules, he will get cash. So this is not break-even for a farm. It's a break-even for the project company. Then what are the main risks that we have to demonstrate? The first one is the safety. The safety, but it's because people they say, well. A remote control nuclear reactor without any operation, that it's difficult. But in fact, we have the experience of the military submarines, and we know that there is no problem on the reactors. No, you have problem on the electric, on the GTA. In English, it's GTA, no, TAG. That's the group, the turbo alternator group. So that means that the maintenance teams on board of a nuclear submarine, they are mainly looking at small incidents on the electric machine, but not on the nuclear reactor. It's perfect. So this gives confidence to the fact that you can have a remote control without any difficulty, without having too often difficulties with reactor. Then the possibility to go on board with a submarine is another. Then the third one, we have asked to the people that are building satellite remote control center that to give them the operation, and they say that remote control operation, they know perfectly that it's something which is mastered. So the addition of the knowledge, the feedback from the marine, military marine, the feedback from people that are experienced with remote control makes us confident. This is the first difficulty. The second difficulty is the physical protection. And you have terrorism, so divers, torpedoes, and so on. So here, I cannot give the details, but it's an important thing because when you ask I remember the chairman of Dassault who told me, well, Alain, the physical protection of such a thing. Well, I think I'm not the specialist, but I can say it has been fully studied by DCN. So there exists protection for immersed system, which can be shown in a confidential. So this is the second point. The third point is which interaction with the environment. Does the fisherman, they will be able to fish in the zone and whatever. There is no thermal effect, no thermal effect. The second effect that we are studying, but the probability of severe accident is really reduced from the weather accident. So you have difficulties to imagine a severe accident with release of radioactivity in the sea. So this has to be demonstrated to the safety authority. It will be the core of the safety authority. But we take the assumption that there is no effect on the marine environment. Then I talk about the capacity to go on board if difficulties, and the last one is the fact that it's a new paradigm for the transportation. So you have, when you will go, let us say that the module is built in Cherbourg, for example, in Normandy, and that it has to be transported to a site in Indonesia or in Jordan or in, then you have to cross different sea with different countries, responsibilities. Who is responsible for when you are out of the zone, of the economic zone? Who is responsible? What does IAEA has a responsibility? What is the insurance? What are the insurances? There is a lot of legal administrative issues which has to be solved. And this is not easy, and this is why IAEA has set up a working group on transportable SMRs to study that stuff. We have a common interest with the Russian to cope with this issue as soon as possible. Well, I want to say that we want to work in transparency. That means we will not hide to the investors that there are four or five main milestones or main issues that we have to overcome before launching the system.
Thank you for the very interesting talk. I didn't understand what is, then you have these 4 points, but after that you want to build directly a full-size model. What is your plan to have a prototype? I didn't understand that. It will be the first 150 meter long?
The idea is really to do the development and engineering studies, which I mentioned, basic design development. Then during the detailed design to get the first client, and the idea is to sell the first of a kind, so it's a challenge, but to have a test at full power in France, somewhere in France.
You don't want to build a demonstrator to have, for example?
No, it was the first idea, and now the specialists of DC and SNG, they say that it will cost and does not bring a full-size demonstrator. No full-size demonstrators. There will be test, part test for the safety system, for passive safety systems, or the submarine, or the small submarines, but by parts. That not a full demonstration system.
If I can, you mentioned that you have no thermal effect. I cannot. You said you have no thermal effect. No thermal effect.
We are studying, but in fact, you
are cooling the thing by water.
There is a thermal effect, but not for the time being. The estimates are completely acceptable compared to the elevation of the temperature of a nuclear power plant. There is no special thermal effect. No special thermal compared to a nuclear power plant. But so the heat must go anywhere, somewhere. No, there is a thermal effect. It is an infinite heat sink. My sentence was not good. My sentence was not
locally right. for the phone, the floor, for the fish and so on. You can imagine you have some effect.
Yes, acceptable for the time being.
What will be your contribution to the global warming?
Well, I don't see any other more arguments than the usual one for nuclear. That means that no CO2 emission. But I do not see more on that field. I do not see more advantages than a classical nuclear power plant. What do you mean? Oui, allez, en français, oui.
Les océans augmentent tous les ans dû au réchauffement climatique, le niveau de la mer. Donc si vous contribuez encore plus, les conséquences peuvent être dramatiques.
The effect, the thermal effect is very, very low, so it will not increase the level of the sea, and there is no contribution of to the climate change from such a small.
I think one big advantage of this is a legal one. We know very well that the main difference between aviation, planes are certified everywhere, and nuclear, each government wants to have its own regulation. Now, since it's not going to be on the site, but on the seashore, then probably you would avoid this kind of difficulties.
You are fully right. You are fully right. It's a consequence that we hope to have, yes. But it's a general hope from the nuclear world that makes that if we can have a convergence between the positions of the different safety authorities on the same object, it will be a good thing. Because if we have treated the airplanes like we treat the nuclear power plants, I mean every country had a pipe, a pump, and so on, so we will not be able to fly. So, but this standardization by the construction manufacturing in shipyard goes in the right direction.
Thank you. Well, just to go a step further to the reasonment of Robert, one of the great advantages of this system is that you divide the user and the operator of the power generation. So couldn't you, with the effect that, in fact, a country could benefit of the electricity without having been commissioned at the IEA and have all the nuclear safety regulation and pyramid and administration. So then if one go one step further, why couldn't we envision that DCNS creates a kind of service company which will be operating those facilities and move them according to the evolution of the markets?
It's exactly the idea they have, but it's the business model they have in mind. But there are some limitations. You cannot imagine that the host country will stay indefinitely without taking more and more responsibilities, for example, for the waste treatment. Even if the fuel is brought back to France and, for example, reprocessed and that the plutonium could stay in France, you have the intermediate level waste that will come back to the country, to the host country, perhaps after a lot of years, but they will have to manage. So it gives them time to manage, more time to manage, but they will have to manage. So this is why, even if we imagine that it could be built, own, operate, contractual schemes at the origin, including host country companies. On the long term, it's difficult to imagine that progressively the host country is not involved in in several activities. So that means to build a safety authority, it's necessary, to cope with some kind of waste. It is a separation, but cannot be a full separation on the long term. Thank you.